Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is I Love You Say It Back. It's a podcast. I'm your host, Vic D. We're back in the studio, and it feels so damn good. Turn me up. Hey. Yeah, buddy. So glad you're with us on a Thursday. Wow. Little transparency, wasn't going to do a podcast today, not because we didn't have a podcast. I truly feel like, kind of like back in my radio days, I do believe that I can do and host a podcast every single night. I know I can come up with, you just got to get back in the swing of things. But we've had so much going on lately that I thought, you know what? We got to get back in the studio. I don't want to fall too far behind with everything going on, and got to get you guys updated and just little things like that. So welcome in. Glad you guys are with us. It is absolutely late as hell. If you were wondering, oh man, maybe he's bullshitting about he wasn't going to do it. No. It's 2 a.m. right now. This is going to be out in like 3 hours. So if you're wondering, like, oh, it was the last minute. Yeah, it was last minute. Got a couple things that we want to catch up on. First of all, I want to remind you, if you're joining us for the first time on wherever you're listening, like, subscribe, follow whatever it is. You take a week off and you forget your whole script here. Hit that subscribe button, Spotify, Apple, whatever you're listening on, hit that subscribe and follow. It allows us to, it helps the algorithm, identify who we can send this out to, and kind of, it's a totally free way that you guys can help us out and follow along, rate it, subscribe it. Same thing on YouTube. If you guys are following along on YouTube, do the same thing. Follow our socials at ICYDK. I think we hit 1,000 followers, but you never want to celebrate when you hit that number exactly, because you're always going to lose a couple random followers. And I think we're like 1 or 2 away from 1,000 followers on Instagram. So got to figure out how we're going to celebrate that. Let me see. I'm actually going to get you an exact number right meow. Let's go over here. Oh, we got one. We got one more. We are at 999 followers, and I'm not celebrating. Even if we get 1,000, I'm going to give it like another week. We have to get to 1,010 to truly celebrate, because then we're going to lose them, and then we'll still be good. But got a couple things that we got to get into. Oh my goodness. Going to jump right into it. Going to dive right into it. This was a conversation. I didn't think this had enough legs to kind of, be a topic in itself. But I posted this last night. So with the madness of my life and everything going back and forth to Clovis, my dad's situation and everything, which, by the way, a lot of people, after listening to last episode, this is what's cool about getting to do what I do. And this is what's cool about kind of hosting your podcast. There's a lot of you who are listening right now who I know personally. There's a lot of you who I don't know personally, but it feels like we know each other personally. So when we talk about certain things, I can pull up a text message that I got that was super, it made me damn near want to cry. And again, I'm not a sad crier. I'm a happy crier, but that one, I didn't cry, so that still holds true. But at the end of the day, it was something that they sent me that was very relatable. People figured out that, put the pieces together of what's going on and reached out. You absolutely don't need to do that. Thank you so much for doing it. But because I've been going and dealing with all that, I've neglected a lot of, little things like updating things on my car, oil changes. My headlights busted a couple weeks ago, so I was driving with my high beams, and that's annoying. So I finally got a chance to take care of that. What else did I do? I got some new tires. I got headlights. I got a couple of things. So last night I put the headlights on, and I was like, oh, new headlights for Lola, referring to my truck. And I put on the following slide, I was like, I'm just kidding. I don't have a name for my truck because I'm not a fucking cornball. And I didn't know that this was going to have legs the way it did. I got so much crap. I got so many applauses. I didn't realize that I didn't realize that this was so polarizing. Men naming their trucks, their cars. We're going to take Lola out for a spin. Shut the fuck up. We used to have a segment on here that we did a little more frequently. We still do. We just don't do it as frequently. It's called Shut the Fuck Up of the Week. This is your Shut the Fuck Up of the Week. Dudes who name their cars. I'll even give you this. If you're in college, that's about as far as I still think it's corny, but I can kind of get it, You're showing off the whip. You got the new car. You're one of the younger kids. Maybe you got something a little bit nicer. You want to be like, hey, we're taking Lola and Estella out for a spin this week, boys. Hey, come on. Yeah. I get that, But if you are out of college and you are a man, you should not be naming your car. I don't care how cool the name is. I don't care how cool the car is. Just cut that shit out. Shut the fuck up. You're not in a teen movie where it's like, oh, this is so cool. He names his car. Girls are not gonna flock and be like, he's really a big car guy. He even names his car. His car's got a girl name. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. I'm going to sleep with them. It doesn't work like that. If you're a grown man, you should not be naming your car. I think it's so corny. It's what are you trying to live in not another teen movie? No, just stop it. You just got to cut that out. Naming your car for men is absolutely corny. And if you were doing it, just stop. It doesn't look cool. It doesn't sound cool. It's corny as hell. Girls aren't flocking your way. They're not like, oh, I'm going to sleep with him because he names his car. He gave his car a girl name and it's so cute. Yeah, shut the fuck up. But I didn't realize how polarizing it was going to be when I posted it. I thought everyone kind of felt that way. And it turns out that I would say the majority of people do agree with me, but there was also the ones who are like, oh, well, you're just not a car guy. So it's like, yeah, I don't care if I'm a car guy. I don't care about I'm a baseball guy. I'm a sports guy. I don't name my bats. I just think it's corny. I think you're just trying too hard. It's a try hard move, and shut the fuck up. Here's another story that I got to tell y'all. This happened. I have a couple things that I have an embarrassing story, 2 embarrassing stories. I have something that happened a couple days ago that I'm fully convinced of, and it just bugs me. And that is, I wholeheartedly believe that no one in the history of the world has ever finished a tube of chapstick. It could be a tube. It could be a Carmex. It could be a Kobe's. It could be like any tube of chapstick. No one on earth has ever finished it. I don't make the rules. I don't know why this happens. I don't know how it happens. I don't know why. I just know it's no one. You can't, there's no proof that anyone has ever finished one. It goes in your pocket. It goes in your purse. It goes in your backpack. It go in your car. They just disappear. And folks, I'm a big lip balm guy. Big lip balm guy. So when I don't have it, it's a big thing that's missing, and it really bugs me. I can't live like this. So the other day I was at the casino, and we were giving away. By the way, we're giving away a Porsche, which we're giving another one today. Crazy. And I forgot my Carmex, and I just got to thinking. I was like, luckily at they have a little shop, the rock shop right there. And I went down there and I was like, if you guys have anything, it doesn't really matter what it is. But people who are lip balm knowers know that you just can't function without it, right? At least when you're not prepared to. If you're making a conscious change, that's another thing. But if you're just kind of caught off guard, you forgot it, you don't have it, whatever. It's I paid $4 for a lip balm. It pissed me off, not because of the price, but because I'm not joking or exaggerating, lip balms up the wazoo. Where are they? Who knows? But I know I got them. They may be in my truck. They may be in my backpack, which is now more my purse than anything. It could be in where they're mostly going to be is going to be in some pant pockets. I know it. Pants pockets, shorts pockets, gym bag. It's going to be somewhere in there. But long story short, I don't believe that anybody has ever finished a tube of chapstick, Carmex, Kobe's lip balm. No one's ever finished one. Ever. If anyone can prove to me somehow that they've finished one, I don't know. We're gonna have to give them a prize because there's just I'll send you a hat if you can. First person who could finish one, I'll send you an "I love you" say it back hat. One of these right here, one of these brown ones or green one. You'll get to choose. But if you got proof, I'll just send me your address. I'll get and take care of. Unbelievable. Okay. So I got to tell y'all this embarrassing story, and I don't know why I felt bad about it. Hold on, let me take a swig of water. But which, by the way, if you guys are watching on YouTube, so I'm drinking out of this metal can. Shout out my boy Joel, and we got some new stuff in here. I don't know if you can't tell. This is the first podcast that we're doing this. I got some new lighting in here, and I'm really excited about it because they're very compact. We got them for the podcast tour, which I'm really excited to use when we complete the tour. We still have a few places that we're gonna hit. Scheduling and with everything going on again, the madness has just been very limiting to the time that I'm available to go out and do. But we still have a few places that we're gonna hit. We just want to do some maintenance episodes. But anyways, back to this water bottle. These metal bottles, like, don't get me wrong, I love my Awala and it keeps it cool. This doesn't keep it cool quite as much, but I'm just talking about like drinkability. Like, I don't know what these metal cans just hit different. I can't explain it, but it's not even necessary. You could refill it with whatever water you want. It doesn't have to be Smart Waters, but if y'all want to sponsor the podcast, water just tastes better coming out of those. Tastes good. Back to the story. Embarrassing story. I don't know why I feel bad. I don't know why I felt weird, but it was just so awkward. Folks, I saw Joey Porter Jr., Pittsburgh Steeler, his dad. They live here in Bakersfield. It's kind of one of the cool things about Bakersfield, especially being a Steeler fan. So the other day I go to Firehouse Subs. This is a little sandwich joint. I go there to grab lunch as I'm running errands and blah, blah, blah. So I go in there and I'm waiting for my sandwich because I made an online order. And I got there a little early. They said, it'll be 5 minutes. In walks Joey Porter Jr. with his girlfriend. And they're also waiting on their subs. And I mean, he's got the Steelers jerseys on. He's got really nice outfit, nice shoes, nice, NFL players. They know how to dress. So I was like, holy shit, I'm a Steeler fan. That's Joey Porter Jr. And folks, I don't know if y'all know this, but I have his jersey. I'm like, I'm like, how do I go up and tell him, like, I got your jersey, brother. It's the off season, so it makes sense that he's in Bakersfield. So I was like really hype. I was really excited. In fact, I even wanted to ask him to come on the podcast. So him and his girlfriend end up taking a couple of pictures on their phone. They're like probably just grabbing some memories, random stuff, social media. And they put the phone on the table and they're just like using the timer. So obviously, and by the way, I'll do this to anybody, anywhere. I actually love seeing people like doing the arm selfie thing. And I'm like, no. Let me get one of y'all. Let me get you a good one. I do it at the casino minimum 3-4 times a night. So obviously I go over to offer. So it doesn't matter. I'm not doing it because it's Joey Porter. I'm doing it because I love taking people's pictures. So he's like, very nice. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, thank you so much. He's like, I was like, I'll grab some. And I probably took like, 10, 12, which I guarantee you're always going to get about at minimum 10 pictures whenever I take it. Okay. I hate nothing worse than the people who are like, hey, can you take a picture of us? Here's one picture. Okay, boomer, relax. Let's get some options here. So I give him the phone back. And I was like, by the way, he's wearing a Steeler jersey. And it's not his own, so I didn't think it was corny. It's a Harris jersey. And so I was like, okay, like, cool. And then I start chopping it up. And I was like, hey, man. I was like, that's dope. You're in town. He's like, yeah, man, we're from out here. And I didn't know how to tell him, like, be like, I know. I know where you're from, buddy. And then I, go on and I was like, I see the Steeler jersey. I was like, I see you, man. Like, that's dope. And his girl is like, oh, you like that? You're a fan of the team. And I was thinking she's being like, she was about to tell me, like, he actually plays for him. Again, I know. And then I, go on to chop it up and I asked him and I'm like, how long you were town for? And he's like, I live out here. Like I'm from out here. And I was like, no. I know you guys, your family lives out here. I was like, how long are you in town for? And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, before you head back for training camp. And you can see where this story's going. He's like, heading back for training camp. And I was like, you're Joey Porter Jr., right? And he's like, odd. Nah, bro, but it's weird because you're the third person to tell me that today. And I was like, brother, you cannot be. And I looked up, I even went on Instagram too, and I was like, man, am I tripping? So long story short, it wasn't Joey Porter Jr., and I wanted to find the nearest bridge, and I wanted to jump off, and I wanted to be like, I did not just do that. So confidently asked this brother, when do you head back for training camp? I know you're in town because it's the off season, but when do you head back for training? Like, folks, you ever confuse somebody for someone that it was, and you were so sure that it was, and then turns out it's not them, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna go kill myself. Yeah, like, yeah, this is done. That's how I felt in that moment. I wanted to sweat. That was still waiting for the sandwich. I almost got in the car, and I was like, you know what? This isn't worth waiting here for a sandwich. Keep the sandwich. Give it to a homeless person who comes by. I don't know. But I did not want to be there. Unbelievable stuff. But I apologize to you, brother. If this video makes its way to you, or if you happen to listen to the podcast or whatever, I'm sorry. But in fairness to me, this is a new segment called In Fairness to Me, he was wearing a Steeler jersey. He was dressed nice. Went back and found Joey Porter on Instagram, and I was like, am I tripping? Did I have this completely wrong? And no, it looked exactly like him. The Steeler jersey's obviously going to throw you off. The nice fit you could tell he's got a little bit of money. Obviously, like, I can't, I can't blame him for thinking that. I can't blame me for thinking that. I just told my buddy, I called my buddy Joel like right after, and I was like, bro, you're not going to believe what just happened. And he's like, that is so embarrassing. And I was like, you're telling me, I know. Let's get into your fun facts here in case you didn't know. That's not such a fun fact. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these are your fun facts here in case you didn't know. Here we go. In case you didn't know, hey, fellas, listen up here. Hey, girl complaining, why are you always waking up with that morning wood? Listen to this. In case you didn't know, morning wood is actually a sign of great health. In case you didn't know. I know some healthy boys out there, healthy fellas, just use that right there. In case you didn't know, if you need a little motivation creatively, here, try this. In case you didn't know, walking can boost creative output by 60% compared to sitting. In case you didn't know. And finally tonight, in case you didn't know, the average gamer. This was fascinating because I thought like the average gamer was like 16 years old, 15, 13, 20 years old. Listen to this. In case you didn't know, the average gamer in the United States is 36 years old. That's unbelievable. 36 years old. So there you go. In case you didn't know, those are your fun facts here. In case you didn't know. Last episode, I told you guys about something that I wasn't necessarily able to speak on because they were still working on a date. And in fact, that actually is subject to change by one day here in the next, I think in the 48 hours, we'll announce it. But it was announced. They posted it on their social, and I reposted it on mine. But super excited. We do a thing. We're big on trivia here. I love trivia. You love trivia. People love guessing trivia. We post our video clips, some of the most popular things that we do. I'm going to be hosting trivia at Rooster's Cantina starting, I believe it's going to be next week. So the announcement said that it was going to be next Tuesday. We might be pushing that to maybe Wednesday, but I'll keep you updated. Just follow our socials at ICYDK Pod. I'm at Vic D Radio. Follow Rooster's Cantina for an update on that. Thinking about moving it to Wednesday potentially. So just be on the lookout for that. But yes, the announcement is official. I'm going to be hosting it out there, and I cannot wait. It's going to be from 7 to 9. I do know that. But just keep an eye on our socials for the update on it. And I cannot be more excited. It's going to be like Family Feud style. You're going to have great food. there, it's for the entire family. So you don't have to, oh, my kid's only 15. Bring them. They love trivia. When my nephews are in town, I'm going to tell them to come on down. My nephew plays this game on the TV. I don't even know what it is. And it's like Family Feud, and he like loves it. He's obsessed with it. Mind you, he's 6. So I'm going to have them come down whenever they get an opportunity to come to Bakersfield. So it's going to be for all ages, all skill levels. It's going to be Family Feud style, going to be lots of fun. And of course, drink specials, food specials, all that good stuff. So join us out there. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I cannot wait, especially because I feel like trivia is right up my alley. And I do have this little dream of hosting some kind of TV show, some kind of game show, some kind of something. Like, I feel like I'd be really, really good at that. And it'd be something I really enjoy. It could be the first step in doing all that. So there you go. There's that. I also wanted to give a big congratulations, folks. A big congratulations is due to our boy, John, King John. We do a football podcast. Him and Preet, they join us. But over the last week, he graduated with his master's from Cal State, Bakersfield. Absolutely. Congratulations, John. Mastery. So, wanted to give love to our very own. But I do have a question, though. Like, I did think about this. How do you think, like, do you ever think about this? Like, John just got his master's. He's smart. He's disciplined. He's well thought. He's well spoken. Critical thinker. How do you think, like, how is it possible to be, again, educated enough to be smart enough to earn a master's, disciplined enough to earn a master's, curious enough? I feel like curious people are really smart people. But then at the end of the day, like, he still thinks it's the Cowboys' year. He's like, hey, it's going to be like, hey, Cowboys' year. It's like, do you think his parents just like look at him and be like, congratulations, that's our little boy, John. He just earned his master's. And then they whisper to like their friends, he still thinks it's the Cowboys' year. Just leave him alone. It's his graduation. Just let him enjoy it. You ever think his parents are just like, just let him believe it. Just tonight, let him enjoy it. How do you earn your master's degree and still think it's a Cowboys year? You know, there's a lot that goes into earning your master's. You got to be smart. You got to be disciplined. You got to be realistic. So you can't, it's just a mesh, just a very confusing thing, John. But congratulations nonetheless. And I can't wait to do our football podcast coming up here in the next few months. That's going to be really exciting. Couple just random thoughts that have popped into my head lately. I said thank you for all the people who reached out and messaged me. And you know what's incredible? This isn't one of the things that I want to talk about, but it's incredible when you share certain things and you're open about certain things. And I wasn't even open about details on them. I'm weird about that. Like, I know people are very open about, I'm battling this or I'm going through this, and they'll give you every detail. And they're like, I'm at stage this and that. Like, I applaud those people because you know what? You give people who are going through the same thing a lot of hope, and they're like, it gives them kind of like a relatable, it feels like you're not alone. Or I don't know what it is. Details, like, I don't know. I just like, well, hey, we'll talk about it down the road, and I'm not afraid, but when you're in the middle of it, it's a little bit different. I don't know if it's just like, I don't know if it feels like I'm reaching out for sympathy, because I'm certainly not. But to the people who have reached out and have related to this, one, I'm glad that you feel like you're not alone, because you shouldn't feel that way. And two, thank you for the kind messages. That's all I want to say. You absolutely don't need to. You have been a part of my life, not just since this podcast, but a lot of you guys even way before that. And it's cool. And I feel like we've seen each other grow up. And especially, I started in my early 20s when I started doing this. And, it's one of those things that you've seen so many versions of me. Now we're going through different things in life, some great, some highs, some lows. And you just feel like when you're listening or when you're, hearing this stuff, you're just like, oh, my friend is going through this. And I feel that same way with some people that I've never even met, just through social media and things like that. So it means a lot. And I just wanted to say thank you for that. But it has driven me to kind of lust for a vacation. I know it's random to say, but it's just like, we've been at this podcast thing for 2.5, 3 years. And just going back to what we were talking about, like, you know so much about the people. Well, the people who've been around for a long time know that my vacations were always like huge. I used to take like two flights a year. I used to go, and all my trips were based around hiking, right? Like, I would find the place that I want to hike. Montana, Colorado, Wyoming, just wherever I wanted to go on a hike, and that's where I would go. And I would take a week, I'd take, whatever it was, and it'd be beautiful. But obviously when when you're starting this, it's like you have to cut back a little bit. And I think we're at a place where, it's like, I'm like kind of thinking about just taking I'm not taking, maybe not a whole week. Still got to be out of the casino, and thinking about just, I know you guys all feel this when you guys are sitting at work, when you guys are starting your work, where you're like, oh, I need a vacation. I'm feeling that. And I felt it for a while, but it's just like, I feel like it's really kind of coming on now. Also thinking about getting a new car. I mean, just a lot of things that are going on. I got my teeth cleaned earlier today, and has that got to be one of the best feelings that a human can experience? I'm going through, like, listen to this. That feels incredible. Like, just your tongue, I feel like, when those old people like can't control, like they're just like, hey, you can't control it anymore. That's how I feel, but it feels amazing. So I got a cleaning today, so I'm superior for the next about 48 to 72 hours. What an incredible feeling. Shout out Apollonia Dental. Always take great care of me over there. It's too hot already. I'm just spitballing like thoughts here. It's too hot already. And I know that it actually hasn't been that hot. Today was only like in the 80s. But I look at it and I'm just like, it says 87, it says 88, but it feels 95. Are they messing with us? Like, to me, I'm starting to question. I'm like, yeah, you're telling me, is this? Yeah, maybe when it's 110, I'll be like, you know what? I kind of wish it was 98, 90 or 88 again. I'm sorry. There's a movie that I want to watch. And I want to watch it like in theaters. Which, by the way, I want to watch the MJ movie for sure. I heard that's really good. But that was just too crazy with the movie theaters. By the way, shout out to everyone who keeps... My buddy Lodi worded this really where he's like, keep cinema alive. And it just goes back to... I feel like I lost some of those old habits, man. I used to go every Sunday night. I would go, sweats, hoodie... and just go to the gym, catch a late movie. Theater was empty. I was the only dude in there. And I feel like I've gotten away from that a little bit. But my buddy Lodi's a big movie guy as well. And he was saying like, hey, keep cinema alive. He was talking about the movie. One that I want to watch is MJ, and I want to go watch Passengers. That's coming out this week. I believe it's on Friday, Saturday. It's going to be coming out one of those days. But yeah, so those two movies are for sure I'm going to get back in the theaters with. There hasn't been that many great movies that will also get you back in the theaters, but I feel like those two for sure. Passengers is about, how they got me? It says, and I'm going to butcher the numbers, but just this is how the trailer starts. It says, every year in the United States, say 100,000 people go hiking. Only 50,000 return. And then it shows you like people getting lost or car wreck, something like that. And I was like, well, this is the kind of stuff that will actually potentially could happen. And yes, I do go down those rabbit holes on TikTok where they talk about how many people actually get lost at Yosemite National Park every year. It's one of the places where people mostly gets lost. And I'm a solo hiker. So to me, to get a thrill out of a scare movie, I don't get scared by freaking ghosts and monsters and things like that. I get scared by things that I feel like could really happen. Cabin in the woods, that scares me. What do I love? Cabins, woods, by myself. Now you give me people surrounding it, and then you put based on a true story around it. I'm cooked. I'm yours. Let me grab my little axe here that I was chopping wood with. Let me try to protect myself here. But yeah, so those two movies are going to get me back in there. Let's go ahead and wrap up the show with a little trivia, which, by the way, again, remember, trivia, Rooster's Cantina. We did a podcast with them when we started the podcast tour. Keep an update. I'll have an update I should have one within the next 48 to 72 hours. They're totally deciding on that. But we should be starting it next week. So just, again, at ICYDK Pod on Instagram, at Rooster's Cantina, and I'm at Vic D Radio. If you guys want those updates, I hope you guys do join us. And tomorrow I'll be at the Hard Rock giving away another Porsche. Let's get into our trivia question. All right, folks, here we go. Ladies, this one is for you. What should men not wear? Listen to this. 17% of women say men should never wear these. 17% of women say men should never wear these or this. Ladies, what's something that men should never wear? Think about it. You know the drill. Pause if you need more time. I'm going to give you the answer. 17% of women say men should never wear sports jerseys. What? Sports jersey? That's a bad day when I'm looking to get myself a Wemby jersey. I'm looking to get myself a Nikola Joker jersey. I'm in the middle. I haven't pulled the trigger on jerseys in so long, and I'm like, you know what? Finally, I want a Victor Wembanyama jersey. We got the same name. The dude's a dog. I love this. It's a great time of the year for sports. You got the Eastern Conference Finals, the Western Conference Finals. The Western Conference Finals, this is going to be one of the best Western Conference Finals that we have seen in years. And Game 1 and Game 2 have already lived up to, especially Game 1. Game 1 was incredible. Double overtime. Victor Wembanyama dropping a three from Narnia to tie the game. It's just incredible. The guy's an alien. He's a freak. And I've been glued to the TV. I love the Western Conference. I don't, regular season basketball doesn't do it for me. Playoffs, I'm all in. I love it. Hockey's a lot of fun during the playoffs too. So great time to be a sports fan. Great time to be tuning in and listening to the podcast. Great time to join us out at the Hard Rock Cajon tomorrow. I'll be there from 4 to 9 or tomorrow they're giving away the Porsche at 10. My apologies. So, but we'll see you then. Enjoy the podcast. Glad you guys are with us. Congratulations, John, on your Masters. But you got to work on that Cowboys take. He actually picked them last year too to win the NFC East. Kind of crazy, but can you see the sweat stains on this? We got some new lighting. I'm excited. I don't know if I told you all that, but yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. See, I took a week off and I already figured out how to close the show. Follow us on the socials at ICYDK Pod. I'm at Vic T Radio. Hit that subscribe button on Spotify, on Apple, wherever you're listening. Just follow along. Totally free way to help us out. Follow us on YouTube at ICYDK Pod. Until next time, help us one more. We need one follower to hit 1,000 on Instagram. I'm confident we can do it. I love you. Y'all have a great night. Sleep good. Peace. I got to get to work. This comes out in literally like an hour and a half. Good.